How are you doing, guys?
Good. Was Zach Martin yesterday just more of a maintenance issue as you deal with him going up to the game, or did something flare up?
Yeah, he didn't make his way through practice on Wednesday. His back started bothering him a little bit, so he didn't finish Wednesday's practice, and then he was not able to practice yesterday. We do anticipate him practicing today, though.
Cooper, how did he come out with that ankle yesterday? And
Mikey did fine.
And Woods, it looks like he may be good to go.
Yeah, we'll see. Really, with all those guys, everybody on our team, we'll see how they do today. We'll make those determinations here in the next couple of days.
Javon's Achilles, did that flare up in practice, or is that something he's been dealing with?
I know that he's been dealing with it a little bit.
Will he practice today at all?
We do anticipate him practicing.
Crawford and Woods probably, Antoine Woods probably won't do much in practice today.
Not much today.
To have a guy like Suafill in case something were to happen is Zach. What's the benefit of having a veteran guy who's played a lot of games?
Yeah, he did an outstanding job for us last year. You know, when Connor Williams went down, we put him in, and he played really well. Played at a very high level for us, and you said it. He's a veteran guy, and to be able to put him in and just keep going and playing the way you want to play, that's a really valuable asset to your team.
You always work with the crowd noise leading up to games on the road. Do you crank it up even more this week than you have for other games?
You know, we really work with the crowd noise every day, right from the start. We start in the off season with that, and we have it all through training camp. We have it every week, home or away. So there's no question this is a loud environment that we're going into, but it's something that we believe we're training our team to handle really every day, right from the get-go.
So you don't really crank it up more this week than you do other weeks. It's just a continual.
You'll have to ask Alex. Alex is the music guy. I always like it. I always like it at 11. You know.
You approve of the playlist, or is that Alex too?
I'm sorry.
Do you approve of the playlist, or is that Alex too?
Yeah, Alex takes the lead on that. I know he gets a lot of advice from a lot of people. Every so often, I hear some stuff that I like.
What have you seen from Tavon this week, and how do you think he can contribute?
He's had a couple good days, so we'll see how he does today, and just see if he's able to go. But he's been moving around pretty well. He looks like his old self.
How did Cobb respond last week from the standpoint he had a 74-yard play nullified and also like a 20-yard game in the, just before that nullified as well? I mean, as far as staying engaged.
Oh, yeah. He's something else now. Talk about a pro, and talk about a guy who goes about it the right way, and someone who's mentally tough and physically tough. He's been outstanding, and he made those plays in the game. Unfortunately, they came back, but he continued to make a lot of other plays too. So he absolutely goes about it the right way. He's been a great addition to our team.
He seems to have a good relationship on the field with Amari and his receivers. How hard is that to get that chemistry going between the quarterback and the receiver?
Well, I think that's one of Dak's real strengths. He develops chemistry with everybody. And he's just really good at it. And he's a very relational person, gets along with everybody, challenges everybody, sets the example for everybody, offense, defense, kicking game. So that's one of his strengths as a leader. And really he demonstrated that right from the start. As a rookie, coming in the situation that he was in, he was able to do that and develop those relationships with those guys, not only the receivers and the guys on offense, but guys throughout the team. And it's one of the reasons everybody's so motivated to follow him.
Can a quarterback develop chemistry with a receiver that goes beyond just the trust and the execution level? I mean, is there something to just innately knowing a guy's body language or how he's likely to react?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. That's when you start getting good. Playing together a lot, seeing the same situations over and over and over again. When you have a new situation, being able to talk about it so you react the same way in the future, and a lot of that goes back to just the relationship they have. And when you know each other well and you trust each other, I think you can grow from all those experiences.
What did you think about Cobb's effort after the interception last week?
I thought it was fantastic.
Do you point that out to players?
Absolutely.
And what do you tell guys? Or not to give away what you said to the players in
Yeah,
the meeting, but what do you?
That was one of the featured plays in the meeting, and obviously there's a lot to learn from that play. But what a great example to your teammates about how to play football at a high level. And what a great example about team and physical toughness and determination and all of that. And, it was a bad play for us. We threw an interception, but he stayed in the play, went and made a play and ultimately knocked the ball out. And his technique knocking it out was outstanding. The intensity with which he knocked the ball out was outstanding. And that's something we all can learn and grow from.
Is that, you've coached him and coached against him, is that something you figured about him but you needed to see, or is it something different that you learned when you see that kind of work?
Well, we loved him coming out, and his reputation was outstanding all the way back to the 4 state titles as a quarterback in Alcoa, Tennessee, and his career at Kentucky, and Green Bay picked him before we did, and he had a great career up there, and we competed against him, and he's been all of that throughout his career. Relentless, determined, playing the game at a high level, doing things the right way time and time again. So we were excited to get him, and he's been all of that for us so far.
Were you guys hoping he was going to be there, and when they picked him, was there a little slam on the table?
Oh, that's a long time ago, but there are certain guys in the draft who you just like, and a lot of people like him. And one of the great challenges of the draft is, okay, we like him, they like him, when's he going to go? At what point do we have to take him? So he was certainly one of those guys that everybody liked. Everybody liked him around the league. Not a surprise he's played as well as he has.
For a play like that where he responds on that interception, it's not really surprising to you because you know what he is, but since you see him every day now, it just reinforces, this is why we've always
Yeah, absolutely. That's how we want to play. And then those are things you try to instill in your team over and over and over again, responding to those situations the right way, chasing the ball, going to make the tackle. But he just obviously made a great play. It's a great example for the rest of us.
As you're 3 weeks in and one game last night, do you ever read yet on how this PI thing is working out in terms of whether it's worth it to challenge or not yet?
Oh, I think in general, based on the preseason and the early returns, the standard for overturning something is going to be high. But I think you have to be really careful in these situations to say this is how they're going to call it forever. I think you have to continue to evaluate it, continue to analyze it, not only the calls in your own game, but calls around the league. I think you need to continue to ask questions about why it was called a certain way just to improve your understanding. And anytime you have a judgment call, that's the case. We send calls in every week. All teams around the league send calls in every week. And it's not about the call that happened in a game that's over with. It's about learning from that call and how you might handle it in the future, how you might coach something, how you might decide to challenge something or not challenge something. So it's just a learning process for all of us.
What about not being able to challenge in those final 2 minutes?
Obviously, that was a decision that we made as a league, and I think the reasons were good ones. You don't want to make the whole thing come back to coaches holding red flags in their hand, waiting for a play like that to happen. But you're trusting the process. You're trusting the process of the replay official to interject and interact, with the game when he needs to. And so we put a lot of faith and trust in the officials anyway, and we just wanted to make sure we did that in those situations.
Thanks.
All right.
Thank you.
Good to see you guys.